Hi kids, welcome back to this few minutes of review, comprehension of this story. As you know, it's getting longer. The story text is becoming longer and longer and longer. So that is a little introduction for you when you are going to be in grade 4. So it means you're going to be reading longer text than what you have right now. So about this story, I'm going to go very quickly. I cannot click on this test because it's a made-up test. We're just gonna go through the questions and to the answers. Okay. When did the story take place? When did the story take place? About 100 years ago. That's the answer because it says on the first page, it tells us about what happened. Now let's take a look at question 2. It says, which sentence best describes George? Because we talk about George. So let's see what can we learn. What do we remember about George? Okay, so we're talking about George, right? He did not like vegetables. Is that important? Do we know about it? He loved to study machines and he was very curious. What do we know until now? Because we have read only 6 pages. If we count the pictures, we only have a few pages. So we know that he wondered. Another word for curious, a curiosity is you wonder, I wonder, I wonder, I wonder. You are curious. So he was very curious. Okay. Now let's see what we have. Next question is, question 3 is, you can tell that Moses and Susan Carver were we haven't reached this stage yet, but let's guess, okay, because we know that he had other people taking care of him. Oh, Moses and Susan, yeah, those are the people who raised him until he was 10 years old. You can tell that Moses and Susan Carver were very caring, poor, or forgetful. I think they were very caring because they took care of him. They took care of George and his little brother. Question 4. Why did George study agriculture in college? Okay, we haven't reached this part yet, so we will stop here. But agriculture, as you know, is the science of you study all the things about farming, what can be grown, and we know that George loved, he knew a lot about plants already because he had a garden. So we can say that why did George study agriculture in college? Okay, let's see here. He didn't know what else to study. His parents told him to study that. This is wrong because George didn't have parents. His mother, we don't know what happened to his mother, and we don't know about his father, so that is not possible. And he had always loved plants. Yes, this is the best answer. He had always loved plants. We knew that. He loved plants, so that's why he went to study agriculture. So let me see if I could. Okay, here I come back again to the vocabulary. It's important that we know some synonyms. That means that terrible means awful, so it's the same, different spelling, different sound, but the same meaning, okay? Unusual, George was an unusual boy, it means he was different. Well done, it means you did something good, so it's well done. Discouraged, disappointed, help, and assist. So these are the words we will see eventually in the story. We also we will get back to this story. This word called is a greenhouse, and inside the greenhouse, plants that need maybe a lot of heat, like cactus or different kind of forest, can be grown inside a greenhouse. Okay, because it's built of plastic, and that's what we need. Oh, I'm going too fast. I'm going too fast. Okay, I wanted to go back. All right, I wanted to go back here. And as we know, George grew up having a garden that he took care of each single plant. So he loved his plants. So that's one thing. Then I'm going to talk to you about agriculture. Agriculture is the science of practice of farming. So it's so important to know what season it is to grow flour, oats, or rice, etc. So it is not anymore a science nowadays because there are other sciences combined. But in the time, it was a specific science, and that's what George studied. Then remember that he went to college because he wanted to learn. He was always curious and he wanted to keep on learning. So that's why he went to college. Then a laboratory is a place where tests and experiments are done. Probably if you study botanic or science, we do some experiments sometimes. We do not have a laboratory right now because we do natural sciences. But when you grow up, you will go to one room where you have to wear a special uniform, special gloves, and protect yourself because it's more dangerous kind of science. Okay, I want to go back to this one. Who was George Washington Carver? Okay, we don't know yet what he invented, but we know that he was a very curious boy. He lived and he took care of a garden until he was 10 years old. We know that he moved from city to city, doing different jobs that will help him to take care of himself so he can continue learning. And we know that he was 30 years old when he had enough money to go to university. Okay, kids, until now, we're going to stop. We're going to continue next on Thursday or next class with this wonderful story. All right, goodbye, everybody.